Hello and welcome back everybody, my name's Maxie and this is me, Reaching for the Stars, episode 9, that is Reaching to the Stars. See, that's how long I have not been doing it. So yes, I have been a little bit busy, okay, so I do apologise for not being on. I have been trying to get a series out for you guys, but like I say, it's been a little bit busy, a little bit hectic. I am in the middle of trying to sort my house out to actually move. But so I've had a little bit of spare time, so yeah, I thought I'd get an episode out. So I didn't want you guys to think that I had forgotten about it. But I have been a little bit busy in my time, so even though I haven't got an episode out, I have been busy building. Ta-da! This is the factory, and I think it's looking pretty good I am, even though I do say myself. But yeah, please drop us a line if you like. Any comments, any ideas. But yeah, it's finally been done. This redstone jetpack has definitely served its worth. So let's have a look over. Now, as you can see, I've also got a nice little walkway, so we can have a look down and see what's there, what's occurring over there. And it makes life a little bit easier instead of going backwards and forwards downstairs. Okay, but as you say, I have been busy. I haven't quite finished everything off, but yeah, I started to get my area sorted to how I want it to be, and I'm pretty happy with it. Got a nice little walkway now and all sorts of bits and pieces like that. So yeah, the only thing is that mobs come that way. So, but I've got my trusty ruby sword, so I can slay them. Right. Anyway, this is the factory, so let's show you inside. So it's a bit bare at the moment, but this is where all my machines are going to go. So this layer here is where all the machines are going to go, and at the back here I've built an area for the lasers, or if you're from or a fan of Austin Powers, the lasers. Okay, so this is the laser room. All right. So yeah, so the lasers are going to go into here. Right. Like I say, all my machines and that are going to go into here. May have the other odd one or two dotted about, but yes, I'm going to have the machines. This is basically the machine room. So if I go downstairs now, downstairs is this area here, which you probably remember, which I had built. I had a staircase somewhere around about here. Alright, I've got rid of that now. But this is going to be my storage room. So everything, all my items, ores and bits and pieces like that, everything is going to be stored in here. Now there is a couple of mods that I can use. One is applied energetics and the other one is logistic pipes. Now in here I'm going to use applied energetics, which I'll do in another episode, but I will try and fit in logistic pipes as well. I think you can connect them together. I'm going to find out for that. I'm near enough 100% sure that you can connect the two together. So if I can, then I will definitely use logistic pipes somewhere else in my series within the build. So I shall have a look. But to have all these wonderful machines, you need power. Power is everything. And unfortunately, in that house over there, yes, and over there, I have got steam power. However, it's not the most effective, it's not the most efficient, and it definitely couldn't power my area. So this is where today's episode is what it's all about. So let's go down and see what I have been doing. So I have also built down here. Ta-da! So this is going to be my power room. This is where all the power is going to come from to power the whole base. Great 8. And like I say, jetpack was used quite a bit. So let's have a look down here then. Let's see what there is about. So, where have you come down from? Ooh. Where did you come down? Strange. Strange. I thought I got rid of all the light sources down here. Mr. Spider. Let's just have a look. F7. Oh yes, big reactors. Ooh. I'll have to sort that out in a minute. But anyway, right. So, yes, as some of you may have recognised, this is part of the big reactors mod. Okay, so this is what I'm going to use to power my base. Now, I know there is another one which is atomic science. Alright, so I know there's a reactor in here. Oh, this is all to do with reactors. Yes, I will be using that at a later date. I do have an idea of where I want to use it within my series, so we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. However, just for the moment, this is what I'm going to be using, which is big reactors. And as you can see, I've already started the framework, and it's quite a resource-heavy mod. Alright. First things first, what you need to make yourself is reactor casing. Now, I've built a 7x7. This is, as you look online, is supposed to be the most efficient of all the reactor sizes. You can go down as little as a 3x3. It's okay for starting off, but yeah, I've already started my. I've already had little power. Now I need to have lots of power. So this is what I'm going to use for my reactor. Now, as you can see, the casing you need to produce. Oops, excuse me. As long as you go around the framework of the actual reactor, you can actually fill in the gaps with whatever items you want to, i.e. in the big reactor. So usually with glass and any other attachments or ports and things like that. The base, I've just covered it all in using reactor casing because it's easier and it's the base of the actual reactor itself. So yeah, this area here, once we start getting into a bit more into big reactors, we can have a turbine as well. So this is what this space is over here for, going to be for a turbine. But at the moment, we're just going to use just the reactor because we have to start off with a passively cooled reactor. So this is what this is going to be. You can go into actively cooled, but I'll go into that a bit more as we progress through the series. So I've built my framework, and now we need to start thinking about the other blocks we need to use. So this is the reactor casing. This is how you build it. You need graphite bars. So if you remember, I've got a little on my farm. I've been cooking up the wood into charcoal, which then I've cooked up again to make graphite bars. I've made more than I needed to, but at least I've been able to use these for the reactor casing. Once I've got my casing, you then can fill it in, so you can actually use reactor casing or you can use reactor glass. And reactor glass uses casing anyway, but you do need to glass, and it will use other glass as well, so normal Minecraft glass. If it scrolls through, there we go, Minecraft glass. So it will use that, so you can use any glass you want to, but just be aware you only get the one, so you use 2 bits of glass. So again, it can be quite expensive. So you need to cover all the sides with either of those. Something else you need is a reactor controller. You definitely need a reactor controller. So if I just put reactor controller, at the moment it's dark because the reactor hasn't been built yet. Yes, we're building the framework, but it is a multi-block structure. So once you've completed the structure, it will then form into the reactor. Another thing you need is a fuel rod and a reactor casing. Now, like I say, you can build it 3x3 and you can have a fuel rod in the middle, and then you can have but you've got to have a reactor control rod at the top. Okay, so you must have that at the top. But I'm using, like I say, the 7x7. So this is how I'm going to place down my fuel rods, and my fuel rods will reach all the way to the top, but except the top layer. All right, so just below the top layer, because then the reactor control rods can then sit on top of there. All right, so let's get that up. Oops. So let's get all 5 of these up and running. And last one is there. So you can see it's just below the layer of the reactor. Then these control rods then sit on top, just like that. Oops. Okay, so now they're now level. Let's turn my jetpack on. So that is the basic. So if you fill in the sides, fill the top in, you would get a complete reactor. However, that is not always the most sensible, or it's not the easiest one of things, because you need to be able to put fuel rods in or fuel in and take out waste, which the waste is cyanide. So it runs off yellorium ingots. All right, so yellorite ore is what we pick up, and we've been processing. You put in yellorium ingots and you get out cyanide ingots. All right, that's the waste. We need the cyanide ingots because that allows us then to start building casings and things like that for the turbine. We can also use, if we create a cyanide reprocessor, it creates plutonium. All right, so we do need to make or get our reactor this passively one. Right, so we're waffling on. So what sort of things do I need? So one of the things I'm going to use is I need a power tap. So some way of shape or form of actually drawing power off the reactor itself. This is my power tap. So you can connect all your cables, power cables, all those bits and pieces like that. The other thing you need is you will need a port. Now, the ports, you only have to build the one. All right, and the ports itself, you can actually put input or an export. All right, as it's going to eject cyanide. All right, we need to put in yellorium. Like I say, you only have to build the one. Okay, but when you build them, when you place them down, they both are set to as default to accept. To change it over, you go to the outlet bit, change it to the outlet, and it becomes blue. So this is now, all my waste is going to come out of here, and everything to feed the actual reactor is going to go in this way. Auto eject is already on, so not to worry about it. Got some casings, glass. So that is roughly it, but there is other attachments you can have there. So you can have red net, all right, which I might build, so you can actually control it through redstone signals, turning the reactor on and off, which I might use so that the reactor does turn off once full power is reached, and then once it gets below a certain level. But again, I'll have a look at that a bit later on. The other one you can use is that there is computer craft on here. So if you want to, you can actually create a computer port, and again you can use that to control the reactor of when it comes on. And that's roughly about it. And you can do the same with the turbines as well. All right, so there's a computer port for the turbines. There's also a rednet one. That's the reactor. Redstone port. That's a redstone port. Rednet. So you got a rednet port, but there's a redstone port as well. Yeah, that's about it really. Nothing else that I need. So what I need to do now with this is fill it with glass. So this is the easiest job. Turn power on. So right, bit fiddly with the old jetpacks. Not really the best in hovering modes. I think Mechanism has got perhaps the better of the jetpacks, but this is pretty decent. It does the job that we need, or I need for the time being. There is a better form of flight, which I will look at some point in the future. I like the glass. You don't have to use glass, like I say. You can just use casing if you want to, but I like to have the feel of the look, being able to see the reactor and see what's happening inside. Right, so that's that done. Now, if I've calculated it, I think I made more than I need for the glass side. Now, you can actually put a liquid in here. It doesn't make it passively cooled. Sorry, it doesn't make it actively cooled. It's just still passively cooled. At the moment, there's no coolant in. There's no means of cooling it down. But I will look at cooling it down. You can put water in here, but you don't really get that much of a. It's not that much of a benefit putting water in here. However, if you look at thermal, there is destabilized redstone. You can put that in there, and you do get a benefit. So it will cool the reactor down. Resident Ender, that's really the one that I'm going to go for. Purely for that is fairly obtainable. I've just been throughout my process, or throughout my time, I've been trying to work onto the reactor or get this place sorted out. I did capture a Enderman. I'll show you in a minute when we need to go back upstairs. There's also the Gelid Chirothium. Very hard to obtain. You need to get blizz rods. You need to then melt them down, and yeah, it's quite a long process. But it is the best. Definitely is the best to look at. Hold on a minute. You didn't see that. Let's just have a look. Right. But at the moment, I haven't got enough resident enders. But it's okay for the time being. Once I get enough, I shall then fill this up. So you fill all the gaps up, and that's the reason why you choose this process, because it works better when it touches all four sides of the fuel rods. Now, you may have seen it. At the moment, it's just a normal block. As soon as I place the last piece, oops, got a bit click happy then. Okay, it is now changed. It is now a multi-block. It is now set and ready. And as you can see, the controller has now gone red. So we can now look into here and actually see what's happening here. Let me just get rid of any eye. Okay, so we can see what our core is like. So our fuel and how quickly it's been depleted. Shows us that it's 5 fuel rods. How much capacity in each of the fuel rods, so that's 100,000 megabuckets, so I think it's the total capacity of all the fuel rods. We can have the casing heating, alright, so how hot the casing gets on the outside, the actual core itself, so each of the fuel rods, how hot it gets into the core, and how much power, and there is a little bit of a buffer here, so it will fill up here before it powers anywhere else, alright, so, there is a buffer here, alright, so when it powers up. At the moment it's offline. We can't put it online because we haven't got any fuel into it. So this is where our 2 ports come in. Let's just move this out of the way. Let's have those. So I've got a couple of chests. Let me just move this all out. Right, got a couple of chests. And I'm going to place them down, one in front of that port and one in front of that one. I'm going to set up my pipework. I now need my wrench out and the 2 servos. So I'll put 1 for in and 1 for out. So change that one over. That one wants to go into there. Job sorted. So let's put power on. So that's now going to draw in, and that one's going to draw out. So this is where my fuel's going to go in. Ooh, thunderstorm. This is where the fuel's going to go in, and this is where all the waste, the cyanide, is going to come out. I will get the process a little bit nicer, but at the moment this will do for the time being. It's because I'm not slept. That's the problem when you're downstairs and what have you. You forget to sleep. You don't need to because it's all right. Ooh, see, I told you. Mobs come down here. Go away, Mr. Creeper. Ooh. Right. Let's go back down. I shall sort out Mr. Creeper out in a moment. So, back to the big reactor then. I'm going to put all the stuff in there, and as you can see, it's starting to take the yellorium, and it's now filled each of the fuel rods with yellorium, and it's got to stack it in there. Like I say, this is the output, so yeah. Right, so we're now looking at the control box. You can see now that the fuel status is now, you can see it's all there, 100% full, 0.0% deleted, or depleted, should I say. So at the moment the reactor is still off. So to set it, we can turn it on by here. So you can see now that the core has gone up and the casing heating has gone up. So this shows us what our core is. So it's about 210. And then our casing is down here. Shows us how much RF we are producing. So 450 RF per tick. So 4,500 RF per tick. Shows you how much our fuel burn rate of, so how much we're using up of our yellorium to create cyanide. As you can see, 0.2% is depleted so far. If it was actively cooled, you'll get another area down here, but at the moment, like I say, this is what we're looking for. Now if I put in resonant ender, that should lower that temperature there, the core heat there, which will then reduce this millibuckets, the burn off, so the fuel burn off. Alright, and it does show you here. It's quite a good little mod. It does show you how it all works and what to do, and yeah, it is quite handy to have. So burn off the rate at which fuel is fissioned into waste into the core. The reactor is passively cooled and generates energy directly from the heat of its core. Alright, so it tells you it's even passively cooled. Yeah, so that's it. That's it for the time being. Just going to sort out my power now, so let me just turn it off for a minute, let everything cool down. Now you're probably noticing there that I've got some bits and pieces set up here. I have got this set up for, I think I need 2, so I need to go back upstairs. So Mr. Creeper, yeah, hope he don't blow up me. Oh, bloody creepers! Where is he? He's there, isn't he? Ah! See? That's why I hate creepers. See, look, he's destroyed me base. Right, I'll sort that out in a bit. Right. Let's go and sort this out. So I want to power things up, and one of the things is that I was building one of these. That's 2. That's the reason why it didn't work. So 2 of those, right. So that that on either side, and that's good. Now the other thing I want to make is I want to put it into a resonant energy cell. So I need Enderium, and to make Enderium you need to make Enderium blend, which as you can see I've made a load of. However, it's not cheap. You've got to get this pulverized shiny metal. To get pulverized shiny metal, you can either get it from pulverizing ferrous ore. You can also get it from platinum, but that's very rare, and it took me ages to find that. Same with like the diamonds. Alright, they're not the most common of ores floating about, so you do have to look about. Once you've done that, you also need to melt down some ender pearls, and like I said, I have been doing a bit of enderman hunting, so I have got a enderman in a reusable safari net. Quite simple, well I say simple to use. I've already got some gas tiers and what have you. I've also got a blaze in there. I'm sick and tired of going back to the nether just to get some blaze wood, so I will be making some mob farm at a later date. But at the moment this is where I want to just get some power up and running. So to make Enderium then, so you get your Enderium blend, alright, but also you need to make pyrotheum dust. So to make pyrotheum dust you need redstone, you need blaze powder, you need sulphur, and you need pulverized coal. So put them in. Ooh, that's not so. Can I get the right thing? Right, it is shapeless crafting. Alright, so you'll get 2 for every one, so that's a full stack. So I might as well get himself a full stack. Don't need this anymore, so that can go into there. And then you put them into the induction smelter, so that, and that will produce some Enderium. And I need 4 in total to turn this into an Enderium. There's 2. Come on, where's my other 2? There we go. Right, so now I should be able to turn that into that, and that is 50 million. So I can make 50 million out of that nicely. Thank you very much. So this is going to be my storage. I'm also going to make some tesseracts, but again I will wait until another episode to do that, and that's going to allow me to remotely transfer power about the base without having to worry too much. Let's put some fences up there. Yeah, it's going to allow me to put power up or move power around the base remotely without having to have cables and God knows what else just to put around. So I'm going to stick that on there. Let's get rid of that. Ooh, how do you get power? Aha, there we go. So that is now going to fill up with all the power that I have. So it'll drain out from there. So yeah, so this is my power sorted. Now I need to look at doing tesseracts, and I can start need to build a frame. See, that's what I need Enderium ingots for as well. It's quite expensive, a little bit of diamond as well, but I can stick that onto here, and that can be my power buffer for powering the site. Right, well, it was a bit, yeah. Well, at least I got an episode out. I do apologise, it was a little bit rushed, but if you have any questions about the big reactors, then please let us know. If not, you can go online. There's lots of YouTube video, lots of information about there. Alright. But this is now going to power my site now, so now I should have abundance of power, as long as I make sure that I have enough Elurium. So I need to at some point get power or get perhaps some more mining done. But other than that, yeah, that's my base now powered. I can now work on all the bits and pieces and start moving things into here now. So yeah, right, I hope you liked. Please like and subscribe. I shall see you all in the next episode. But apart from that, this is me signing off, and I shall say cheerio. So bye for now. Bye.